Hello everybody, this is Sneaky the Lost, and today I'm bringing to you a pre-alpha, I hope that's enough pre's, of this amazing game called Autonauts. As you can see, version 5 Drew. Very early development. Don't expect all of this to never change or become more complex, but I started playing around with it. I thought it was awesome, and I think it's something that I really should share with the class. So, it's a lot of people have said that it is akin to a cross between Minecraft and Factorio, and I think that's a pretty fair assessment. And since I like both Minecraft and Factorio, it's no real surprise. I really like this game. So let's get started, shall we? We start off all by our lonesome with not a thing to our name. So let's get started, shall we? We're going to grab a stick, and we're going to grab a stone, which we're just left-clicking on. And now I can make a crude axe or a crude shovel. We will make an axe. Yeah, we're gonna assume that that animation gets a little bit better as we go along. So now we're just gonna, with our axe equipped, left-click a pine tree. And we've cut down the pine tree, we've gotten a log and a tree seed. So, here's what we're going to need to do. We're going to need to build our factory. So, I'm going to hit Q and get that out of my inventory so I can start hauling things. Because you can only have one thing in your hand at a time. We're going to kind of move this around, and I'm going to right click to just drop it for now. And we are going to make some simple flooring here and here. And as you mouse over that, it'll say simple flooring requires 2 logs. So we grab a log with a left click and then right click to simple floor. Rinse, wash, repeat. Grab this log that's just kind of lying around. I to bring up your inventory, re-equip your crude axe. I'm sure there will be a shortcut for that at some point before release, but as I said, pre-alpha. Q to put away that thing so I can grab this log and right click. Alright, so we've got a little foundation for our beginning factory here. So, the first machine I'm going to want is a crude bench saw. This is going to help me make the items that I'm going to need. It's going to need 2 logs, 4 planks, and a stone. Well, there's a stone right there. Let's go ahead and do that. And we know how to do logs. We'll just go ahead and re-equip our crude axe and start chopping down a couple of these trees, shall we? Unequip the axe. Grab the log. There we go. Ah, it looks like I went into a new area and unlocked a cow who's going to be wandering around doing things. So, for planks, what we're going to need to do is chop that down. And the reason I was so careful about unequipping the axe earlier is because when you click on the log, when you got your axe equipped, you get 2 planks. Well, we need 4 planks to make that sawmill. Let's go ahead and do this again. Unequip. And you can actually grab multiple planks. You can only grab 1 log because they're kind of big, but you can grab 4 planks if you want. And you can right-click 4 times to drop them all in there. And we now have a sawmill. And the reason the sawmill is great is because when I come over here, chop this tree down, put that away, come over here, and right-click here, I get 4 planks instead of 2, so it's twice as efficient. This is awesome and amazing, and I approve. Next thing we're going to need is a basic workbench. Well, I could do this if I want, but I'm going to go ahead and hit R. And this basically gives me the ability to Put that down in a little bit more organized fashion. Now I'm going to need 2 logs, 4 poles, and 2 stones. Well, we're going to grab one of these planks, come over here, left click the machine. That brings up the inventory. Do I want to make planks or poles? Well, I need poles. And that says it requires 1 plank. Right click that, and it spits out 4 poles. Convenient. No, I don't want that. Okay, then I need 2 more logs. So we're going to pull out that axe again. Ah, my axe broke. You know what I'm going to do? We're going to... Oh, wait, we can't. Yeah, we can't. Well, no, because I need to finish that off before I can do that. Oh, well. Almost, but not quite. Another crude axe. And then 2 stone. Well, there's some stones over here, so I'm going to go ahead and grab those. And now we have the basic workbench, which we can use to make basic wooden tools. Now then, unlike, say, Minecraft, where the tool made with sticks and stones are better than a wooden tool, these are wooden crafted tools as opposed to like a rock tied to a stick, which is never a very efficient way of doing things. So in this case, these wooden tools are actually going to be more useful. The other interesting thing is you can make wooden gears, or crude gears, excuse me, and some other interesting things. Now then, a couple of other things that we're going to want to do here. One of them is a wood router, which we're going to put there. And that requires 5 planks, 2 poles, a log, and a wooden axe. Well, a wooden axe is made over here. So we're going to grab a pole and a plank, and we will give that a wooden axe. Now then, it's also going to need 5 planks, 2 poles. Well, we've got 2 more poles over here. We've got a plank, so I'm effectively going to need 2 more trees worth to get this taken care of. Alright, so you go here. And you can come over here, make planks. And the wood router makes gears and crude wheels. So far, kind of Minecraft, well, maybe modded Minecraft-ish, you know, with some machines here, but not really a whole lot of automation going on. Let's fix that with the worker assembler. That's going to require 2 logs, 2 planks, and 2 poles. Well, I've got a pole sitting around here. There you go. And of course, we've got a fog of war thing where I don't know exactly what's over here until I kind of walk over to it. So let's get this thing taken care of. Oh, right. I have to tell it to make poles first. There we go. Now I can make crude worker bots or basic worker bots. The big difference is the crude worker bots requires the crude gear. The basic worker bots requires a regular gear. But since we've already got the wood router set up, we can go ahead and skip the crude worker bots entirely. Definitely a point for the devs to consider in later releases. Again, very pre-alpha build, so don't expect to be able to skip tech like this going forward. There we go. So, and don't worry, we're really close to the point where we're no longer gonna have to manually do this. There we go. Now we grab this. And we have our first robot helper who can do certain automated tasks. So, the first task I'm going to tell him to do is I'm going to tell him to start chopping trees, which means I'm going to need to make him an axe to chop trees with. So we're going to go ahead and make him an axe. And we're going to hit space. That brings up your robot interface. Click on the one you're wanting to talk to. Let's trade first. He's going to get the wooden axe. I'm going to retain my crude axe. And then I'm going to teach this robot. And what I'm going to teach them is you're going to go to the nearest pine tree, use held item, repeat that forever, go. Now then, I'd really like some place to put these things. So what I'm going to do, and I'm going to build a general storage, which requires 4 planks. Great. Now, I'd like somebody to take all these logs and put them in there for me. So that's, again, gonna need another robot helper. There we go. Alright, now then, you. I'm going to teach you. I don't need a tool for this. He's just picking stuff up and hauling them. Grab me a log. And put it in this storage bin. And repeat that forever. Go. Now then, there's a couple of other tools, tasks that I want to have automated around here. So let's work on some of that. But you see, now that I've got people hauling wood for me, I'm spending less time collecting materials and more time actually doing the crafting here, which is kind of the name of the game here. Now then, you! I want to teach you something. We're gonna make a wooden shovel. Actually, I'm gonna have to make 2 of them. Trade. Give him the wooden shovel. And we'll pick up this other one. Now then, you're gonna learn a valuable trade. You're gonna learn how to dig a ditch. All right. Yeah, sometimes when everything is in a pile, it can be a little bit tough to pick things up. I'm sure they're going to work on that at some point. Now then. Actually, hang on. First off, another... I know that it says seedling tray. There's something that's going on with that. I'm not quite sure what. But for now, we're just going to do a general storage. Right there. Which is going to require 4 planks. Alright, now here's what I want you to do. Pick up all of these tree seeds. Go to the storage. Oh, yeah, I need to teach it first. You go here, find nearest tree seed, pick it up. Put it in the storage. And move 1 square over. Repeat forever, and go. Now, why the move? Well, you see this guy? He's sitting right in front of this log storage bin. And if anyone wanted a log from this bin, they have to use this arrow square to be able to get into this. So right now he's blocking anyone from getting into the log storage except me, which that's nice because I'm not automating anyone picking up logs yet. But say he picked up all of these things and I had somebody else who wanted a tree seed. If he was standing on that thing, he'd block the other robot. So that little move is really important to clear access to it. So let's make somebody who actually wants to do something with those seeds. Holes. There we go. And we've got another happy little worker here. Now then, I want to teach you how to do something. You're going to grab from this general storage, and you're going to plant it in the nearest tree hole, and continue. And so now we have renewable tree crops. We are no longer clear cutting, we are actually planting behind ourselves and making wood a renewable resource. And of course there are other resources to obtain. For example, there's some clay up here. To get the clay, I'm going to need a shovel, so we're going to grab that. We're going to dig up some clay. Alright, so what are we going to do with all of this clay? Well, we're going to make ourselves a clay furnace. And let's go ahead and make it... Yeah, let's make it over here. That looks like a good idea. A good place to make that. Now, I can grab 4 clay. I can't grab that 5th one, so I'm going to have to come back for it. There we go. Now then, I can make charcoal, I can make metal, crude bread, and clay pots. But to make metal, I'm going to need to dig up a metal deposit. So, first off, there we go. There's your charcoal. And to make metal, I'm going to need a charcoal and a metal ore. Well, obviously, to dig up metal, as any Minecrafter would tell you, I'm going to need a pickaxe. So we're just going to come down here, grab a pole, grab a plank, bada bing, bada boom, we got a pickaxe. Now, this gray area, and I'm sure this is also going to be changing, they're all considered, just metal deposits. You can get either stone or ore out of it. There's an ore right there. Oh, look what happened over here. We had a worker who ran out of steam, it looks like. That's no good. Right, we're gonna fix that. And obviously, we're gonna want to fix that with an actual robot. And that's another issue, because his tool just broke, so he doesn't have the tool necessary to do his job anymore. So these are issues that can be solved. Now then, a bed. We're going to teach you a valuable skill. When one of these guys runs out, you shake them to recharge them. And so anytime somebody runs out of gas, he's going to run over and shake them awake. Now, he's out of tools, but I'm going to hold off on that for now. Let's first off... Here we go. Now I've got a couple of pieces of metal. Let's build a metal workbench, shall we? Oh, you. Here we go. Now, we're probably going to need to first build another floor down here, which we can do. Not too bad. There we go. A metal workbench. That requires 2 logs, 4 poles, and 2 metals. So we're going to go ahead and get that taken care of. So, this can make metal plates and metal tools, which obviously are going to be a lot better. And, hey, metal saw blade. That can get kind of interesting, too. So, which one are you? Find nearest tree soil moved. Okay, so he's the guy with the shovel. He's out of shovels. So, here's what we're gonna do. And don't worry, we're gonna automate this too. Good. Equip the pickaxe. Alright, here we go. Let's do this. So we're gonna make a metal plate. Boom. Now then, the guy that's buzzing at me needs a shovel. So we'll go ahead and do that. Do that. Hey you. Here, have a better shovel. Now shut up. Okay, looks like our lumberjack has also run out. So let's go ahead and make him a metal tool. So he will leave us alone. And then we can go ahead and do the same thing over here. Make a miner bot. And maybe a couple of bots for hauling things around in. One for stone. One for ore. There we go. Charcoal. Oh, wait. You there. You there. And metal. There we go. Another metal plate. So this is the basic idea. And of course, there's a lot more to it. You've got these cereal crops that can be turned into bread. You got these cows that can do stuff. You can find villagers around that are unhappy that can use some happiness. So, metal axe. That's basically the gist of this game. There you go. Stop buzzing at me. There you go. So I've got lumber on farm. I've got the tools to make 3 more robots, because what I could do is a couple of storage bins, one here, and then just tell a robot, hey you, pick up the metal ore, put it in here, hey you, pick up the stone, put it in there, and then another one with a metal pick, just go crazy mining. And then I'll basically have the metal on farm, and then I can just make whatever I need to and proceed from there. As you can see, there is a crude bench saw that I've been using in a regular bench saw. That's what requires that iron saw blade, and it's 50% more effective. It produces 6 planks at a time instead of 4, and 6, and 6 poles instead of 4. So, much more efficient way of doing things, and then you can branch out and do other things. But that's basically the gist of the game for the intro, and a decent introduction and a decent setup. Now, obviously, this is gonna change, very, very alpha layout. But on the whole, I think it's a heck of a lot of fun. You've got a lot of automation involved here. You've got several steps that you'll need to take. You've got robots for different tasks. Yeah, it's great. I like it. I can't wait to see what the devs do with it as they progress. Until then, though, this is Sneaky the Lost, signing off.